In this topic, we will be taking an up-close look at rates. We will note that rates are very useful for making comparisons and learn how to compare the prices of different amounts of the same item. We will also study the relationship between distance and time and learn how to use this relationship to make comparisons. We will discover that if you know two measurements, you can write two different rates. We'll also learn how to figure out which rate is best to use depending on the situation. Finally, after we have learned different ways to use rates, we will decide how to use those rates to make predictions and decisions. It's all just ahead, so let's get started comparing some rates.
All right, on to our examples for part 1. Before we do examples, let's watch Key Concept to learn a little bit more about unit rates.
A rate is a ratio involving two quantities measured in different units. A rate for 1 unit of a given quantity is called the unit rate. When a unit rate is written as a fraction, the denominator is 1 unit. The 1 in a unit rate is read as per. Suppose there are 6 apples and 3 people. You can write the rate 6 apples per 3 people. When you divide the apples evenly, each person gets 2 apples. So the unit rate is 2 apples per person.
So you're going to notice that they set up right here the unit rate, okay? There are 3 people and there are 6 apples. Well, ideally, they want to figure out how many apples would we have per person. Well, we want to try and get per person, so we want 1 as the per person. So how do I get from 3 to 1? Well, I divide by 3. So 6 divided by 3 is 2. So I get 2 apples per 1 person. On to part 1. A box of crackers contains 84 crackers, so I'm going to go ahead and underline that, and has a total of 7 servings. How many crackers will go on top are there per serving? So I'm going to put crackers on top and servings on bottom. So if I have crackers on top, that's 84, okay, and if I have servings on the bottom, that'll be equal to 7. So now we need to figure out, okay, how many are in 1 serving? So if I have 84 crackers and that's 7 servings, I need to figure out how much is in 1. So how do I get from 7 to 1? Well, I divide by 7. So now I need to divide 84 divided by 7. So to get from 7 to 1, we divide by 7. So that means I need to do 84 divided by 7. So do it with me. 7 goes into 84. 7 goes into 8 once. Minus 7 equals 1. Bring down my 4. 7 goes into 14 twice. So that means 1 serving will have 12 crackers. Go ahead and put that in your notes.
A basketball player scores 60 points in 4 games. What is the basketball player's unit rate for points per game?
So they want you to figure out points per game. So I'm going to put points on top and game on the bottom. Okay, so if I have 60 points in 4 games, they want me to set this equal to 1 game, and they want me to figure out how many points do I score in 1 game. So go ahead and try this on your own. How do I get from 4 to 1? Well, 4 divided by 4 is 1. So if I divide by 4 here, I need to divide by 4 here. So what is 60 divided by 4?
When it comes to deciding how good a player is, this is just one statistic that players, coaches, and fans care about. You'll see this rate abbreviated as PPG, or points per game. It's a number you'll hear sports reporters use a lot, especially during playoffs.
Go ahead and write your answer, and then we're going to move on. Go ahead and freeze it if you need to.
trunk of a tree grew approximately 4 inches in width in 16 years. How much did the tree trunk grow per year?
So here we have 4 inches in 16 years. They want to know how much did the tree trunk grow per year. So I'm going to write G for growth, per, I'm going to draw my line, year. So how much did it grow? Well, it grew 4 inches in how many years? 16 years, right? So now they want me to figure out my unit rate. Well, we know that if it grew 4 inches in 16 years, they want me to figure out how much it grew in 1 year. So how do I get from 16 to 1? I divide by 16. So if I divide by 16 here, I need to divide by 16 here. So 16 goes into 4, 0 times, add my decimal, add a 0. 16 goes into 40 twice, minus 32 is equal to 8, add my 0. I know that 16 will go into 85 times. Woo! So it grew 0.25 inches per 1 year. Go ahead and freeze and copy this down.
A blade of grass grew 5 inches in 50 days. How much did the grass grow per day?
5 inches in 50 days. So how would I write this? I know this is my per sign, okay? How would I write this if they want me to say grass grow per day? Okay, so I'm going to put a D down here for day and G for growth. Okay, so how would I set this up? Well, how many days did I have? I had 50 days. Okay, and how many inches did it grow? 5 inches. So now they want me to set this equal to 1 to find a unit rate, because unit means 1. Unit, 1 rate. How do I get from 50 to 1? Well, I divide by 50. So now I need to divide 5 by 50. I'll let you try this in your notes. Here are some of your answer choices. And go ahead and write down your answer. On to part 3.
Maybe I'm using more water taking a shower than I thought. You know what? Once this table is complete, I'm going to use it to come up with a plan to use less water. Hey, isn't that what the essential question was getting at? Using comparisons to make plans.
A 5-minute shower uses approximately 12 gallons of water. Each minute the shower is running, the rate of water used is the same. Use this rate to complete the table.
So we know that if we have minutes per gallon, okay, because minutes and gallons, that we have 5 over 12. So we need to figure out, okay, how we can set this up so that we can fill in our chart. So go ahead and follow along as we watch this video for how to fill in our chart.
First, find the unit rate. A 5-minute shower uses about 12 gallons of water. So the rate is 12 gallons for every 5 minutes. Divide the numerator and the denominator by 5 to find the unit rate. The unit rate is 2 4/10 gallons per minute. Next, multiply the unit rate by the length of each shower to find the number of gallons of water used. A 1-minute shower uses about 2 4/10 gallons of water. A 1-minute shower uses about 2 4/10 gallons of water. A 2-minute shower uses about 4 8/10 gallons of water. A 3-minute shower uses about 7 2/10 gallons of water. A 12-minute shower uses about 28 8/10 gallons of water. And a 16-minute shower uses about 38 4/10 gallons of water.
So all you did, as soon as you found out that 1 minute is 2.4 gallons, or 2.4 gallons of water is used every 1 minute, we can use that information by multiplying how many minutes we have, or how long our shower is, to figure out how much water we used.
Your dishwasher uses 11 gallons of water to wash 2 loads of dishes. How many gallons of water will your dishwasher use to wash 7 loads of dishes?
So we know that it uses so if I simplify that, I know 11 divided by, 2, because 2 is what we divide here, so I have to divide by 2 up here. 11 divided by 2 gives me 5.5. So if I know that 1 is equal to 5.5, meaning 1 load is 5.5 gallons, they want me to figure out how to do 7. Well, if I know 1 is 5.5, I need to multiply 5.5 times 7. So 5.5 times 7. Go ahead and find that, solve that in your notes. Here are some of your answer choices. When you are done, go ahead and do digits.